show.
Yep.
It's a goal! Say what you got to say, man. Say what you got to fucking say.
Steelers are gone to Super Bowl.
Hey.
We
accomplished 9-8 Super Bowl.
Yeah.
9-8 Super Bowl has been accomplished again. It's 10-8 technically, but it's 9-8 Super Bowl.
No, you're going to Super Bowl. You're going to log into SeatGeek. You're going to use code TREE. You're
Save
going to
$20 off your first purchase.
Some upper deck seats, and the Steelers gone to Super Bowl.
Oh, they always get
was
Super Bowl. That was
pathetic.
Bad. Here's the
thing.
I had no
watched the whole game. Yeah,
I did too. I had to stream it. I streamed the whole year, so why the fuck not? And I saw that. I did not expect that sort of implosion to happen over a month. You figure you're 10-3. You think, okay, they might be something. The offense is starting to click around. You put up 40 on the Bengals. I mean, we put up 500 yards, and apparently that was it. Yeah, I mean, that stretch was your big test. That was your difference between, are you going to be a real contender or are you just the same as you are? And then the Bengals game happened. It was like, fuck it, we're done. But as I said, I expected pretty much nothing, and I was somehow still disappointed. I don't know how you do that, but it's just...
That game was so bad. Just watching, you fell into a 21-0 hole.
And they got their asses beat.
Yeah.
First drive, you give up a 95-yard drive. They did nothing but run. They ran 3 straight times. You can't solve an RPO or make a tackle. That is horrifying. Give up over 300 yards on the ground, and run defense is supposed to be what the Steelers have prided themselves on for ages. Always limiting their opponents, no 100-yard rushers, and King Henry's just going fucking ham like he's playing the Carolina Panthers. And then you gave up over 225 yards after contact. Both Lamar and King Henry and more. You probably could have had Keaton Mitchell, and he would have probably done the same shit. Because I saw a team that just didn't care. They didn't try. And it was one of those things where it's just like, if you're going to just not give a shit, forfeit the fucking game. Why are you here?
Damn.
That's the thing. I saw a team that didn't care. They didn't give a shit. Here's what I'm going to say. Third quarter. Steelers had just scored a touchdown on a bunch of moonballs by Russell Wilson. It's a 2nd and 20. Had a big sack by Nick Herbert, I believe it was. You had a wide open receiver, near side out of bounds. Tylen Lewis, I believe it is. I forget, but nobody was within 10 yards of him. And then Minka literally gets driven for 5 yards. He's trying to strip the ball. Dante Jackson doesn't give a shit. Porter doesn't give a shit. He gets a first down. 21 yards when it should have been like a 10-yard game. Like, nobody gives a shit. Nobody's doing anything.
Yeah, Tylan Wallace is what Leif says.
Tylan Wallace. Sorry, Tylan Wallace. Sorry. That was the game. And then you just went ham.
Nah, the game was when the Ravens had that one drive where they just ran the ball the whole time.
Yeah, that was the first drive.
yeah. Well, then they didn't even pass it because that showed like the blueprint in the last, playoff Lamar happens when you put 8-10 guys in the box and you stop the run and you make Lamar throw. Well,
but they
you
couldn't
didn't even stop the run.
The thing, you couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop an RPO. It was like, everyone gets fooled. It's what are we doing? What are we doing in practice? What's going on? Because I know you're going to say, Patrick Queen had the flu, but Patrick Queen has just been kind of meh all year. And what the fuck happened to Minka? He just does not give a shit. And you have him big money. TJ Watt, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt because I think it has a lot more to do with his injury than he's letting on. Like Cam Hayward, how many years does he have left? He's 36. You have a 3-year deal with him. Joey Porter Jr. is only good for taking shitloads of penalties. Dante Jackson has pretty much fallen off a cliff. Deshaun Elliott, he's been okay. I wouldn't mind him being back, but once again, he doesn't really move the needle. Landon Roberts, he's a free agent. Solid run blocker, run stuffer, not really good in the pass. but you have Keanu Benton hasn't really been getting a spot. You have Larry Ogunjobi still as a free agent. And yeah, you had a relatively healthy team, and you still got walloped. There was a play, I believe, Dan Orlovsky had a highlight of it. Both tackles are pulling. When have you seen a play where both tackles pull, even if it is a mistake on one person's part?
Yeah. Yeah, you were disorganized, undisciplined, very unstealer.
And that's on coaching.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Haven't I been saying that Tomlin has been overrated and exposed for years? I've been saying this since 17-18. And now people are finally realizing it. Like, I wish that was the one thing I was wrong about. And I've been and now the national media is starting to zone in. And I'm like, thank God, it's about fucking time. Because the problem is, it's the same shit over and 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 over again. You've collapsed the last 5 of the 7 years late. You've lost 6 straight playoff games. You haven't won a playoff game in 8 years. You pretty much haven't been anything relevant in 15. Yeah, that's the Steelers. That is pretty much them just ramming into a wall. And the worst part is that nothing's going to change. We know nothing's going to change. Already to borrow a popular Tomlinism, the man lives in his fears. He does not want to rock the boat because he doesn't want to make a big decision. He more is interested in the appearances of competence and selling tickets. And the reality is, it's just that why should I have interest in this team if you're going to be bringing out the same shit next year? Okay, who do you have a quarterback? Are you going to bring back Russell Wilson, Sam Darnold? We saw how bad he was the last 2 weeks.
I wanted to ask you. Yeah, like, what do you do with Wilson? How much does he have another year on his contract, or is Denver
it's a 1-year deal.
Paying his salary?
Denver's still paying his salary, but the question is, what does he want in a re-signing? But the question is, I know they're going to want both. If Wilson and Fields are back, you might as well just wave off the year. Oh, you did a gritty? 50. All right.
No, 50.
Oh, we got a 50. Ooh, I actually like your shadow with that blue background doing the gritty.
You like that?
It just seems all mysterious. The Steelers need so much Jeebus right now. Like
they need the Jeebus.
They need endless Jeebus. RD2 needs to be visited by 3 spirits in the name of Jeebus so he can make a fucking decision.
You know what's funny about that story is that the ghost of Christmas future gets Scrooge to change. He doesn't care about the past or the present. Yeah. He's like, well, whatever, fuck. I don't give a fuck. And then they're like, this is what your future is going to look like. He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, and then he suddenly's like, oh, fuck, and then he dies like a week later. Michael Orm, can we say 1-2 frauds? Vikings are going to Viking. Take it away, Paul Allen. The Seahawks OC ran more than once against them. We would have beaten them.
That was brutal. I was really surprised at how much the crowd was really into it for the Rams. They were inspired. As soon as I saw Andrew Whitworth give that pregame speech, I was like, oh shit, the Vikings are fucked. I was like, there's no way that this team loses now.
Yeah.
And
they set that damn team on fire.
Yeah,
that's pretty much what they did. I know one of the jokes was it's like they took up on Sam Darnold like he set the city on fire, like he set the arsons.
The season can't end like that. Are you kidding me? The season can't end like that.
Dude, he was flipping the fuck out over. Sam Darnold,
smoked.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you, who had a worse wild card weekend? LA Chargers, who pretty much imploded after Jim Harbaugh was kidnapped by the Dirty Bubble. The Pittsburgh Steelers, who are going to be doing the same shit next year. They'll probably get 8 or 9 wins, barely miss the playoffs. Or Sam Darnold, who has probably lost about $50 to $60 million in total money, about a year of contract, and is getting pretty much ran himself out of Minnesota with us last 2 weeks.
Yeah, Darnold lost a lot. The Packers had a really underratedly bad game as well.
They had a very
everyone knew
frustrating
they
game.
were gonna lose, but like Jordan Love is causing you to ask a lot of questions. The
$55
$3
million.
Yeah.
That was a bad Brett Favre performance.
Yeah, I mean, no one thought that they were going to win, but like at least you want to be like the Buccaneers were competitive, you know. Broncos had a really bad weekend, but no one gave the Broncos a chance.
The Broncos at least kept it competitive for a half. That's pretty much what we expected. We expected Denver to get walloped because they were playing a good team and they were schedule merchants throughout the year.
I'm going to say
we all knew
Darnold
this.
had the worst weekend. Personally, we got another 50 bucks away.
Oh, another 50? Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on. Jeebus. Yeah, we need Jeebus here. Ooch, I'm sorry you don't have to see your Jags anymore. Speaking of bad franchises, dude, he would be flipping the fuck out about them keeping.
He would be so mad about keeping Balky.
Dude, I think that's the first thing I thought of when they kept Balky. It's like, man, I wish Ooch were here. He would be railing them.
If Ooch were still here, he'd probably drive to Jacksonville to go fucking yell at Tony Khan. He'd go to Daly's place and just be like, I know you're fucking in there. I know you're fucking in there.
I'm gonna love that motherfucker.
You're ruining his team. You're ruining his fucking fuck you. I mean, he would drive there. He would put clown makeup on and just do that shit.
Yeah, he would. He did it for the Colts game. Trap for 50. Thank you, brother. Recovering from the neurovirus, and I want the Jeebus to cure me, and maybe for a more competitive postseason. Now wild card's done. Good tidings to you two as well. Oh yeah, we'll gladly bring out the Jeebus for you, sir. Jeebus for all around.
Bomb.
You know what would have made these playoffs more competitive?
What?
If they added more SEC teams to it. Look. I mean, I'm going to be honest here. Alabama would have probably been more competitive than a few of these teams.
Yeah, but they got smoked by fucking.
I don't know if I'm even being ironic.
Oh, gosh, what a nightmare! Ohio State versus Notre Dame in the championship, dude, and you know what? This is even worse. I'm gonna have to root for fucking Ohio State because Notre Dame but it's hard to root against Marcus
Freeman. I mean, as I
Marcus
said,
Freeman.
I was
as
hoping
an Asian American.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping that both Notre Dame and Penn State would have lost. I wish they both would have lost.
You know what though? I can root for Notre Dame in good conscience because Marcus Freeman is the coach.
Yeah, but guess what? If Steve Sarkisian wants to unleash the drunken offense at the 1 yard line again, hey, more power to you. Like Texas, that dude has learned nothing.
Clueless.
Nothing. He has been terrible in goal line offenses ever since Atlanta. Hey, the Penguins finally scored again. Yay.
Yeah. Nah, dude, Texas is clueless. Like, yeah, they got back. They're in the they're not awful like they were. What was it? Right after Mac Brown.
Yeah, like that. I forget the one coach. They were pretty
bad. They were bad. Now they're good again, but like still, it's nil money has changed the game. But like, I'm just surprised that Notre Dame is in it. With their academic standards, maybe nil money's paying for a lot of
no money. Oh, dude, that's why Clemson fell off because he didn't care about the nil.
Yeah, because Dabo was like
Dabo cares about the power of prayer.
He wanted to do it his way, and everyone else was like, this is the new landscape we live in. And then fucking Saban retired because he's like, oh, damn, my gig is up. I can't just pay these guys under the table. I have to pay them out in the open.
A bunch of coaches have done that. Tony Bennett, Virginia, retired. The Miami coach for basketball retired. Because it's like this fucking sucks. There's no loyalty. It's like, you can. Well, yep. And that's the thing. It's just like you guys leave on a dime too. But the problem is there has to be a balance between a Terrell Pryor situation where you get suspended indefinitely for autographing a shirt for $1,000 or being paid $10 million to flip on a dime. Like there has to be a difference, right?
For them to take advantage of these young men, I get it. Like, but the way that colleges were set up, like they're just completely abusing these young men. Like they were
always about the education. Although it was never about the actual education. Let's be real.
Yeah, no.
Most college like
now.
athletes didn't really do anything in college. They just were focused on the athletics. They didn't.
Let's call it what it is. A pro league. It's a minor league now. It's they finally
pretty much
for the money
because they realized if they weren't going to pay, someone else was. Remember, I mentioned I thought the XFL could have done that. Like, hey, give us 3 years. We're going to pay you money, scholarship. If you want to go to the NFL, be my guest. If you want to stay in the XFL, more power to you. That's what I thought they should have done. Like, you would have had you wouldn't have to worry about education. You would have had full training, athletics, and then you would have been. It would have been like a development feeder system. But the thing is, the NFL does need a minor league, and honestly, college football's kind of becoming it.
Kind of becoming it. It's always been. What are you fucking?
Well, here's the thing. It's not a minor league. It's a feeder system. It's like a junior league.
All right, read some supers.
Yes, sir. James Amadei. It must be division week. I smell the toxicity of Red Kingdom. People everywhere. Yeah. I'm thinking Chiefs Super Bowl again because God hates us all. Beast of Metal 1989. I don't know whose asses were kicked harder in the last week. The Steelers versus Action Jackson and King Henry, 22, or Hockey Tube versus Bettman's Copyright Goons. Have you heard?
Yeah, Hockey Psychology got
a couple people
videos blocked.
Hockey Psychology, Eckhart's Ladder was another one. There are a few other guys too. I know my NHL videos have been getting claimed more in the last couple months, and now it's just they're actually blocking them now, which is crazy. Because monetization wise, it's whatever. I deal with that with the NFL. But but I mean, the thing is, most of these guys have other jobs. They're not they don't have sponsors. So that's the issue. I mean, if it weren't for the sponsors, I'd have to get another job. Let's be completely honest here, because I can't rely on ad rev. But the thing is, too, if they're outright blocking videos, then you're pretty much killing the league, and there's no point in doing videos. That's the question. Or you have to change up your style, and with the way I do things, I like to use video from the leagues to emphasize what's going on and what I'm talking about. If you can't do that, what are we doing here?
Well, why do you think I'm on camera more? I recognize that the leagues all want you. We can't do what we did remember in 2018 when it was me, you, Flemlo, KTO, we were the guys. We were the football YouTubers, and now it's completely different. It's so different.
Now YouTube in general has changed. It's more about short form burst fire. And the thing is, too, competition's
about to get worse
now because, the thing is, the leagues that want their own slice of the pie now. Back when we started, 16, 17, you had some competition. You had the highlights on the NFL Network, but most of the time now, it's just, different game.
Yeah, they didn't care as much. Now they're these guys are...
The NFL always claimed ad revenue. I mean, that was...
they did. But unless you're, in their good graces, it's gonna be hard to grow.
Oh, dude! Oh man, I ain't in their good graces. Do you think I'm in their good graces? No.
They know who we are.
I'm still shocked the cease and desist thing didn't happen.
They know who we are because of Tom and Brandon, and Scooter. But they don't. I don't know if they want us to succeed.
Fuck no! I don't think they give a shit.
I don't think
here's the
so.
thing: the NFL will make their bread no matter what. So that's the reality. And the NHL, I don't agree with outright blocking videos. That's stupid because the NHL has been having an identity crisis for God knows how long. And
the last thing the NHL needs is to prevent people from talking about them.
Yeah, if you do that, you might as well just throw up the white flag. You might as well fall behind MLS, the WNBA, the PWHL, and NASCAR. And then NASCAR is having its own troubles. You might as well fall behind them if you're going to do that. V-Man 29397.
Oh, go ahead.
Want to feel old? Nelson Cruz and Carlos Beltran have become the general managers for the Dominican and Puerto Rican national baseball team. Remember when Carlos Beltran was almost a Met for a week?
The Met manager,
then garbage can happen.
Yeah. And then what's his name? Who was the GM that was? He was also a GM for 5 minutes, and then he sent dick pics to.
Oh, right. I forget his name. Billy
Jared something.
Oh, Jared Porter.
Yeah, Jared Porter.
Yeah.
Fucking what?
It's like, oh, this woman hasn't responded to my 30 texts. I'm gonna send her a picture of my penis. That should help out.
That always works,
dumbass.
Dude.
Oh yeah,
That's
dude.
How you get the girl,
if you want a hot girl, send a picture of your penis. It works every time.
Listen, kids at home, that's how I got my girlfriend. I was just like, you know what? Send her a dick pic, and she was like, "Oh my god, I'm in love."
Yeah, that's how I slid into a few chicks' DMs. It's like, just send a picture of my penis. There you go. Gets me in there every time. Hey, Annie,
you know what I could see?
Let's make out. Here's a pic of my penis.
You know what I could see you doing? I could see you trying.
Not even on like a sub account. And then she'll be like, "Oh, I got a penis. I don't know what that is."
Oh my goodness, penis. You know what I see what I could see you doing is trying to send a dick pic instead, but you miss and you send a picture of your thigh or something, and you're like, "Oh fuck."
Actually, that would be even hotter, dude. I mean, strength there, man. Feel that stuff. Let's go.
Yep. And then she's like, did you mean to send that to me? And you're like, "Oh, totally, like,
it's like thunder thighs, baby. Chun-Li. Let's go. AAA. The only good thing about that game was seeing Tree crash out in another pizza box. Dude had a handsaw and destroyed the poor thing. A good old hacksaw. I figure it's like, whatever, I'm crashing out. Let's go out in style. I revived Pizza Box too. I kept it extra, but it's,
Did you tape it back together?
No. The other one I taped back together, but it was destroyed.
I got something today, by the way. I'm going to post this in the chat.
Tell you what, I'll do this M&M 14 while you do. Sam Darnold versus Skylar Thompson QB battle will be the stuff of legends. And I'm going to be honest here. I think I know where he's going to play next.
Long Dong Tigers. Ni hao! Ni hao! Ni hao! Victory lap! Victory lap!
Cooked.
I mean, dude, how sad is it that Sam Darnold, as I said, he was on the point of being a franchise quarterback for a team, and now he's a meme again. It took 10 days.
So Official League sent me this World Baseball Classic Series hat. I'm going to put the link in the description. This is fucking dope, dude. They were like, you can get Venezuela, Puerto Rico. I was like, Japan all day, baby. These are so they made our Melonheads hat.
Nice.
So now I got this one. I'm gonna take some pictures with it and post on Twitter tomorrow. But if y'all want to get it first, it just dropped today. So it is fucking dope, dude. I like this hat. I'm actually gonna wear it for the rest of the stream. So cop one, dude. We're having the World Baseball Classic, and then I'm gonna take a picture of this and my dick and send it to Annie Agar.
You would do that.
I would do
after
that.
son.
Anyways, all right, we can go back to dual cam.
Yeah, buddy. You don't want to see your beautiful bald head?
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, the fit on this is amazing. Let's go. Let's see if I can tighten this up a little bit. I love these corduroy hats, man. They're fucking dope.
I mean, they look nice, man.
This might be my go-to from now on. Sock puppet hat's getting a little old. Look at that.
Yeah, buddy.
Popping that shit right there. That's fucking dope. All right. Keep reading.
So
are you sports balling?
Yeah, no, actually what I was doing is I'm actually trying to get this for Trav. You see Paul Allen's reaction to that one sack. And that's what I was trying to get because I had the video in the background there. So I'm trying to upload it so we can show it. That's what I was doing. So I was actually trying to grab that real quick.
You're trying to work.
Yes, I'm trying to work and multitask at the same time. I have my headphones on, so unfortunately it's blaring out of my one side. So I'm just waiting for this here to process. Paul Allen's reaction.
Behind him, Aaron Jones, Addison in motion to the right. Two receivers left. Rams blitz. Darnold gets away from it. Steps up in the pocket. He's holding it too long.
Just run.
Throw it, man.
Just run, Paul.
At the 25-yard line, he's sacked for a 5th time.
All he's got to do is pull that thing down and run and get as much positive yardage as he can. There were 5 to...
Seeing ghosts.
Oh, he was seeing more than ghosts. This is why he's going
Long Dong Tigers. Ni hao! Ni hao! Ni hao! Victory lap! Victory lap!
Dude,
Yeah,
like I
all
said,
that dancing,
bad,
like
dude.
He hadn't faced adversity like that all season, and he turned back into Jet Sam Darnold, man. It was
Like he was just like standing in the pocket like a statue. It was the weirdest thing, and I saw it multiple times. In the second quarter, I saw it in the fourth quarter too. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And I know you're probably trying to look for a coverage sack, but sometimes you either got to throw it away, run to the side, or try to create.
or purposely overthrow it. Yeah, or throw it.
Yeah, like he was doing that the
something.
last 2 weeks. Like he was overthrowing a lot of people. I mean, that was the last 2 weeks. It was like, as I said, the lights were too bright, and it wasn't Carson Wentz against Jacksonville bad, but it was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty rough. Darian Clark, behold, social media darling Justin Herbert is not Phillip Rivers. He's now blonde Andy Dalton with the stat padding skills of Dak Prescott.
That was not a good game either. Like they came out. I mean, yeah, they got out to a 6-0 lead, but then the Texans just took over and dominated. And the 4 picks, like all these guys were like, "Yo, Herbert doesn't get picked. He hasn't thrown interceptions in months." And then, the Texans stepped up. They cooked them for sure. That was probably the outcome I was surprised by the most. Was the Texans just curb stomping
To delete
the Chargers, because I thought the Chargers, I got it backwards. I thought the Chargers would show up and beat the Texans, and the Rams would be fucked because they had to move their venue, but I got it completely backwards.
I think that's how we all were, man. I mean, dude, as I said, it's just all I'm gonna say is look at this quote by Emmanuel Acho. I mean, he is running a fucking victory lap about this bullshit, and it is just
Joy Taylor's boyfriend.
Yeah, Joy Taylor's boyfriend. I mean, a fling, I should say.
Yeah, her.
You didn't do anything, Emmanuel.
It's cuckaballed.
Yeah, and he's still like trying to celebrate and smile. But I think I know what truly caused. It was this moment.
But
right
speaking
here.
of clean, that's dirty. Is that dirty bubble?
Dirty bubble! Oh no!
He's up.
Goodness.
He's up to no good.
Whoa,
Look out, Coach Harbaugh.
Watch out,
He's
Harbaugh.
enveloping Harbaugh!
Oh, no. Harbaugh's going to have to take a shower when he goes in at halftime.
Stinks in there, I bet.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
He's Harbaugh!
He got to be careful.
Jim, come back!
Dirty bubble.
Look,
Jim!
Harball down.
look for a soft spot to land.
Gentle with our head coach. Oh, no. Dirty.
That's it.
We live in a society.
Yeah, they needed a point. They needed a point.
Yeah,
They didn't have a point. They couldn't free Harbaugh, and that's where everything went to shit. The moment that Jim Harbaugh got kidnapped by the dirty bubble. I hope he gets out of there by the draft.
Mm-hmm. All right. Keep on reading. We're way behind.
Oh, of course. Hello, 5 and Tree. Will you stream any of the playoff games? My picks are KC, Buffalo, Rams, and Lions. And KC and Lions, and KC for El Super Bowl.
Do you want to do Championship Sunday?
Maybe.
When is that?
I mean, it depends if that's next week, I think.
No. That's the 26th. That would be both games would happen. I can do that. I can do the 26th.
I potentially could.
Okay. Yeah, we can
Because
hang out
I'm
all
probably
day.
going to be free on Sunday.
Yeah, I love seeing the the teams get their tickets punched to the big dance.
We did it 2 years ago, not last year, I think.
Something, and then we did the Super Bowl.
Yep.
We did Media Day, and then we did the Super Bowl. So
Media Day for 4th year in a row, I believe. 4th.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I got to start booking guests.
Yeah.
Do you have any people in mind?
I have a couple people in mind.
We can bring our din back. I want my din back.
You would, man. You would.
Uh-huh.
All right. Hey, we'll figure something out, man. Connor Akers. Hey, Tree, where can I find the 8-bit version of Sirius that you use for your intro of your game streams? It's actually a 16-bit version. It was from a game called Super High Impact. The soundtrack is on YouTube. The fun fact, the guy who made that soundtrack was Dan Forden. He was the guy who made the Mortal Kombat soundtracks. So he's that's where I found it. I just stumbled upon it. And it's like, okay, actually works. So that's where it was. That's where the remix is from. They also have a remix of Gary Glitter's Hey Part 2. But I mean, that's a little weirder now because the dude's a pedophile. Plan B Skateboarding Company. The Lombardi's coming back to Baltimore. Also, blah, blah, blah. Cam Sutton is still on the ground looking for his keys. Cam Sutton could stay in the fucking Shadow Realm. So I don't get why we even brought back Cam Sutton to begin with, especially with how poor he looked. He looked washed. He looked bad last year. And the shit that came out, it's like, why is he back? Why is he playing a playoff game? We have Beanie Bishop on the bench and Corey Trice inactive.
So many question marks for the Steelers. This is going to be a off season where
they're probably going to do
free. You got to shit or get off the pot with Russ. I think
they're not going to.
I think Russ.
I mean, I think they might. I think they do because it's going to be him and Fields again. And where do you go from there? Because like Russ Wilson can at least stretch the field. Fields didn't really do that. And I know a lot of people are going to say, "Oh, wait till Fields does it." It's like he was okay, but he more was a game manager. He didn't really stretch anything or create anything dynamic.
The thing is
and the thing is, they talked about like running the ball with him, but he didn't even do that for the most part. They didn't even utilize him that much.
But like Russ isn't getting any younger or better. That's like it's gotta
Russ
leave you.
He's
just
36.
I
mean that look the pulse around Steeler fandom. This is the most apathetic and bleak that I have seen it in ages. Like there is like next to nothing here. It's like, oh great, it's gonna be the same shit. We're in that Marvin Lewis and Cincinnati arc where you've lost a bunch of wild card games and it feels like they're not doing anything to change. That's what this feels like. And I know you're going to say, oh, we won Super Bowls, but it's like, dude, those were 15 years ago, man. You're nowhere close. And the problem is if you're nowhere close to a Super Bowl, you're a mediocre team. With the way they played, with how they've lost playoff games, with they're getting blown out repeatedly, and you sneak into the 7th seed or you collapse late and then just fall apart, what's there to be proud about with this team? I mean, you have – it's a bad football team. It is a team that relies on high-end talent. If you weren't for Bott and Boswell, you're a 5-win team. As I said, there are a lot of people say, oh, if it weren't for Tomlin, you wouldn't be winning. No. It's Watt and Boswell. If it weren't for, look up the record without like TJ Watt. I think it's something like 1 in 10. I mean, Boswell won 2 games in general, man. That dude's automatic. He hit like 96% of his kicks. He single-handedly won you Atlanta, Baltimore.
Yeah.
Those games made it to playoffs.
You're not in football hell. You're in football purgatory, and that's
purgatory. It's a limbo. It's football limbo. So it's that's the thing. It's like you're not good enough to be anything relevant, but you're too good to suck.
But I'll say this: at least you get that 1 week. Okay, you get 7 days to hope and think that you might show up against the Ravens. Now, you knew it kind of didn't.
Though. Like most people realize that we're going to get their asses kicked because that's how I felt like the last 4 times. I mean, Steelers, Cleveland, you at least had a chance because it's like, okay, you're home. You have a rivalry game. Against Kansas City, it's like, we shouldn't be here. We're going to get our asses beat. Against the Bills, we shouldn't be here. We're going to get our asses beat. And then Baltimore, we're in the middle of a collapse. We're going to get our asses beat. And it's come true every time.
But you were 10-3. You were 10-3.
We were 10-3, but the problem is I was hoping like things would change. They looked like they were changing. That's the problem. But the problem is the holes came through. You had your big test and you failed miserably. And that was the moment. It's like Sam Darnold. Nobody cares that you were 10-3. Nobody cares that you won 14 games. They care about how you finish. And the Steelers do not finish well. They haven't finished well, and I can't tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
Bragging rights sports. Damn it. Bills fans chanting, "We want Baltimore" at the end of their game against the Broncos is me to kiss of death. Makes me more confident about our chances on Sunday. All hail Lamar and King Henry. Well, I mean, it's a big test for either team. I think that's going to be the biggest game of the year, but Buffalo has a lot of flaws that are being masked right now. They go very poorly in first halves. Their defense is suspect, and Josh Allen's like 90% of their team.
That's where the Bills scare me, is the defense. Like, and the Chiefs, they've been here before. They're like that. They've become very Patriot-like, and that this is what they do. This is their job. They're gonna stick to what they do, and it could score bad. We could be seeing a team go for a three-peat and maybe lose in the Super Bowl. But the Chiefs are dangerous at this time of year.
Of course,
very
and they're getting healthy. With how they dispatched the Steelers like effortlessly, dude.
Yeah,
that's the peak Chiefs.
So watch out for it.
The Broncos game was deceiving. They were playing backups, so they didn't give a shit. Drew Kashal, should we start questioning Packers training staff after seeing all these injuries from them the last few weeks? Rarely see a team get hurt that fast. Sometimes it just happens. They should be more worried about their quarterback's coach retiring, Tom Clements.
It's so hard to put any blame on a training staff. You know, the Mets one year, they had a really bad training staff, and the Mets were getting injured as shit. And there were a lot of injuries that I thought were preventable, but nobody ever wants to get injured. And no training staff is going to do anything that's going to put they can't be worth their salt and make it to the fucking NFL if they don't know what they're doing. You know, I could see a college training staff, you know, like being like, hey, you know, inject this fucking staff, but like injuries nobody wants injuries, man. Nobody wants that shit.
It's an inevitability of any sport.
Yeah. Trust me, man. Having suffered any level of injury, like you just like, oh God.
It sucks. Like you don't want to be injured. I mean, even like this past year when I had the grade 2 ankle sprain and bone bruise, I didn't want to be fucking injured. You kidding me?
Yeah.
It happened when I was weeding. It was uneven terrain. Shit happens.
Yeah.
It's fucking bull. I hate that shit.
What I'm more impressed with is that you were weeding.
Yeah, and the thing, I fucking hate weeding.
Look at you being a grown.
There's a reason why I hate weeding. It was like a steep terrain in my backyard. I was trying to go for some hedges with like a hedge clipper and like gone. It didn't fracture, so I mean it's healed up now, but it's annoying shit, you know.
Yep.
Oh, hold on. All right, that one guy. All the Vikings have are reruns. It sucks that this might be the Hitman's last game. Harrison Smith. Yep. God, please let JJ McCarthy be good. We need something. I mean, this game pretty much confirmed that JJ McCarthy. Oh yeah. Oh dude, that's every fucking year, man. Are you serious?
The season can't end like that.
That's what happens, man. Season just ends like that all the time. V-Man 29397. The fact of the matter with the Steelers is that since their last playoff streak began, they have changed coordinators, assistant coaches, players, and the GM, yet they still lose. Only constant is Tomlin. Not just that, their team philosophy and owner, RD2. RD2 is a real problem because, as I said, he's a man who lives in his fears. He is spineless. He's our John Mara. That's the reality of it because he doesn't want to make a change. He's afraid to make a change because the reality is he's content with how things are. And they extended Tomlin this past offseason. They're apparently paying this guy $16 million.
10-7 first round exit.
What? Yeah, that's not worth $16 million a year to me. Especially when you have roster personnel autonomy. Like, dude, he organizes the shopping list, buys the ingredients, and makes the sandwich. Like he has his fingerprints are all over that shit. Why do you think they have the highest paid defense in football? That's what he wants. Why do you think they brought in Arthur Smith? Because that's what he wants. That is that is how he wants it run. That's how he thinks he can win. And you can't win like that. You probably couldn't win like that in 2005. Maybe in 1985, but not anymore, dude. It's a different game. No Rules X is a Lions fan. This season has been gold. Thanks, Lions and Vikings and Packers, for the stressful season to end, fall over, and collapse. Lions have a shattered defense and still look like a monster. And they're somehow probably going to get their hearts broken later on in these playoffs.
You know, yeah, the Eagles look good. The Eagles look really good.
I mean, I feel like the Rams are going to give them some trouble. I don't know why. I feel like Sirianni's going to find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah, I think the Commanders are going to give the Lions a little trouble. The Lions will beat them, but like the Commanders are scrappy and they've got luck on their side this year. The Commanders have been incredibly lucky. I think it runs out, but like they're going to be scrappy. Yeah. They're going to hang in there for at least, 3 quarters at least.
Oh yeah.
We'll see.
Okay. Phantom Observer, realistically, who is available right now that could replace Mike Tomlin if Steelers management wants to change? I want Ben Johnson. but they're not going to get him because I feel like RD2 wouldn't accept it. Once again, it's a pipe dream because they're never going to fire Tomlin. I mean, it's
never
pretty obvious. Like, and that's the reason why everyone's cynical, because they realize
it'll be like a
Gettleman.
Yeah, it'll be like a Gettleman situation where he is asked to
he's retired. That's the thing. It's like a Bruce Arians where they had him retire. They didn't actually fire him because he wasn't good, and RD2 wanted something like he talked about Steeler football and running the football, and they retired him. And that's the thing with Chuck Noll. He has to get on with his life's work. And I mean, everyone says Mike Tomlin will get a job easily. I think he goes to TV. Why would you risk your legacy like that?
Yeah.
Like, he could be a decent commentator like a CBS pregame show. Why not? Bring him on Fox to replace Bradshaw.
Jesus
there
Christ.
You go. Easy.
The Penguins have 28 shots on goal already.
Yep.
After 2 periods.
They've been very, I mean, Joey DeCourt's been a wall, but they're up 2-1. But it's been something. And the thing is, nobody's at the stadium because the weather conditions are kind of iffy around here. So it's like about an inch of snow on the ground, and it's been cold, so it's sticking. So nobody wants to go out.
I got you.
Yeah, we forgot it was winter again. We've been spoiled the last few winters because it's been warm and it's just been nothing but rain. Now it's just snow. It's like, ugh. I have to use my snowblower now. I have to use salt. And the thing is, most of the city's low on salt now. It's fucking horseshit.
No, that's ironic.
Anymore, but it's
there's plenty of salt now from that game on Sunday.
I mean, dude, if you use that salt, dude, it's dude, you could clear the streets of Pittsburgh all winter. Udruk Kashal, what's a sadder franchise, the Vikings or the Chargers? Chargers. They don't have a real home.
Chargers.
They should be in San Diego.
Chargers are pathetic.
Havoc for 20. As a Vikings fan, my heart hurts. So clearly a mental thing with Sam. I didn't want him to be our quarterback next year, but I wanted him to get a starting gig somewhere. It was a really fun season, and I'm thankful for him. I think he'll get a starting gig somewhere. I think it'll be with this guy's team as a stopgap.
Fuck no, dude.
I know they're saying Steelers, but
what does Sam Darnold fucking solve? What does he solve? That fucking offensive line is.
They're trying to save their jobs, dude. You're gonna draft Sam. You're gonna sign Sam Darnold, and you're gonna draft Travis.
He's gonna want like $30 million. Like, it's not
he's gonna $30 million 3 years, $60 million guaranteed.
Fucking
that's what it's gonna be.
You don't fix one mistake with another. You don't get a divorce and then go date the identical.
Long-term vision. Shane's trying to save his job. He's on the hot seat. So they're going to think that this guy is going to be the answer. That's
Shane's on his way out, dude.
I mean, especially with the stuff with Nick McLeod. Did you see that shit?
Yeah, dude.
But it's like, dude, if you do that,
I want him fucking out of here.
Yeah, you're going to pay highest bidder. Like, why would anyone want to sign with you if you're pulling that shit?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm still bought in on Shane, man. I don't know.
Yeah. I thought Shane would have fired Dable as a scapegoat. I thought that would have happened, but apparently not.
They're too good of friends. Like, if he could save his job, he's going to, So he did. Yeah. He was like, all right, you can't fire me and fire my boy. That's sometimes loyalty will work against you. But I just I don't see Shane as, eliminating his boy, No,
of course not. I mean, they've made too many mistakes, and you could say some of them were on John Mara, but at the same time, I mean, the Daniel Jones contract, letting McKinney go, letting Julian Love go, Saquon, Leonard Williams. Like, there've been a lot of problems, dude. That one guy for 10. And the sad part is the Giants actually have a playoff win much more recently than the Steelers. That's the pathetic part. And that one guy. Anyway, what is your guys' bandwagon team? At least I still have the Chiefs. Loved Alex Smith and Andy Reid. Unlike the Vikings, the Chiefs were at least creative with their losses. Oh, the Chiefs under Schottenheimer, they found ways to extract pain.
I'm rooting for the Bills and the Lions. They're the only feel-good stories left in this whole playoffs.
I'm not really rooting for anything. I feel like we're just getting Eagles and Chiefs because God hates us all. It has been pretty predictable so far. I feel like it might be the same thing. We're getting into that NBA, like, Warriors versus Cavs, you're fucked scenario. That's what we're kind of getting into here.
That was a terrible.
Like, we just have like one or two random like teams that come out of nowhere, but the low cows stay low cows, the mid stays mid, and the upper crust stay upper crust. That's what it's really come into these days. And I think it's just because the league's run by a bunch of idiots. Maze the Great. Tree, like how other channels upload bits from your channels, I'll be uploading your Black Friday bits to mine. I hope you're okay with it, dude. Do what you got to do, Maze. I don't have a problem with it, my man.
Yeah, dude. People steal my videos all the time, and I don't care.
Oh, yeah. Here's the thing. I don't care.
Whatever. I'm not
gonna.
Yeah,
as
I
I
made
said, you can say like, "Oh,
monies.
this guy fucking sucks and he knows nothing about football." Like you can say that. I don't fucking care. Release it.
Yeah.
Ghost Dug 814 in a Norm Macdonald voice. 5. I think this is you.
Let me read this one.
Yeah, you have a better one than me.
In a press conference after the game, Sam Darnold was asked who was at fault for the underperformance. He blamed, you guessed it, Frank Stallone.
Sorry, I've been watching Norman.
I just, I heard OJ killed his wife. That's all I want to say about that. Why'd you come in here? Because the light was on.
God's
I love
monkey.
Norm is my favorite. I'm honored
this week.
Even attempt a
exactly. You do it better than me. I probably couldn't do a Norm Macdonald. This week's random NBA player from the past, power forward center Ala Adel Nabi.
Ooh.
Interesting.
How about Almus Ashraf? If you're going to go with an alliterative one. And another one, Olden Polynice.
Olden Polynice, Scott Skiles, if you're looking illiterate.
Now, there's this guy named Scott Skiles. He became the head coach of the Orlando Magic after
former Miami
years,
Heat player,
and he did not kill his wife.
Maybe he did in spirit. Oxinator. Apparently, FBS coaches voted unanimously in a favor that would reduce the college football transfer window down to a single 10-day period in January. Oh, they're just doing that to save
Transfers
their
are getting
asses.
ridiculous
Because now it's just turning into just like European transfer
highest
windows.
bidder. Yep. Free agency. Yeah.
Pretty much. They're just trying to save their own asses because they realize they're losing recruits left and right.
Yeah, they're going through all the expense
all
recruiting,
the booster capital.
Mm-hmm.
They just use it as a tax.
I love this one here. Asked why OJ refused to take a lie detector test, his lawyer said because it detects lies.
Be here all night. John Howes, not a football-related question, but relevant given the Knicks fan to the left. What are your thoughts on the season so far? I'm impressed but cautious.
The Knicks have been above average, like I still don't think Karl Anthony Towns was the answer, but like we're not an elite team, but the Celtics are going to be there. Like we're not better than Celtics, and Cat really isn't the answer. So we're better. We're not the fucking Rangers somehow. Like somehow the Knicks are better than the Rangers right now. But no, it's not been too. I haven't been too excited about this Knicks team for sure, unfortunately. Yeah. So we'll see.
Zetter for 10. The NHL is completely backwards in how it presents the game. The games are difficult to get, so much gambling everywhere, killing YouTube content creators, and they still have no idea how to market stars. And you're missing the big one too, the digital ads. Not just on the boards, but on like the glass. I'm seeing that shit too. It's like, that's distracting. Why would I watch this shit?
Yeah, there's so many ads.
That's just annoying. NHL. And the problem is like, and the thing with the gambling, every league does that now, especially, and that's a big thing that's changed since we started. But I mean, the thing is with gambling, they pay up. That's the thing. They pay.
They pay up, and that's why
they're able to do that. Like they're just throwing money left and right. And that's just the nature of the beast these days. And with like the NHL, they care about the quick cash. Like that's why they're worried about.
They're trying to keep the league afloat.
Yeah, well, they want to make profit for the owners, and the thing is, that's how they feel like they can do it. Question is now, especially with the Canadian dollar kind of circling the drain, what happens there with some of the Canadian teams? Winnipeg, Ottawa's at least getting a new stadium, but Winnipeg, they're still having some trouble bringing in fans, even with their great season. But it's because of the economy.
Yeah, that's scary, dude.
Calgary had some threats, but I think they got the stadium deal rearranged, so they're okay there. But I'd say they're the team with the biggest threat right now, even with the owner with the big pockets. Kevin Wong for $23.90. Tree, your stream of Steelers Ravens is legendary. Dallas get Super Bowl. They just have to buy tickets to game. Curse SeatGeek. Use code Tree for $20 off your first purchase. Tell them that this salty motherfucker sent you. And Marco, should we rename Sam Darnold to Sam McDonald's? You mean McDonald's?
We should. McDonald's.
I am seeing ghosts.
Listen, we complain about gambling being everywhere. We're like, hey, buy our coffee. Check out the official league hat that they sent me.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we're whores. That's the reality. It's very hard to be non.
We're not even good at whoring.
Well, everyone whores nowadays, man. You can't rely on that, Rev.
Yeah, you can't.
And I mean, and my thing is, like, I don't want to do like a Patreon or like memberships on my channel or anything like that because I don't want to put the onus of paying my bills on you guys. It's
yeah, I'd rather have you just like and share. I want it to be free.
Not even that.
Y'all.
Dislike and unsubscribe. That's what you should be doing, kids. The thing is, like with ads, like I put them at the front. Just skip them. I won't be offended.
Mm-hmm.
I will not have a problem with that. You do what you got to do. I completely get it. But what about this verse? Should I be glad the Chargers got destroyed? We didn't. Charger just got dominated fair and square. Room to improve in the offseason and draft. You kind of did Charger after the second quarter. It just like kind of.
Yeah, you're up 6-0. I was able to.
Dominating. You had chances and you didn't push through. You need a high-end wide receiver. Quentin Johnston is trash. You're going to need a running back because J.K. Dobbins, it's health related. I think you're going to change there. And I would say, trying to think, maybe like a guard, I would say probably work as maybe depth option besides Zion Johnson. I would say maybe like a mid-round edge. So you have somebody to develop behind Khalil Mack, maybe something there. But otherwise, I would say it's wide receiver and running back. Those are your big positions.
Mac's not getting any younger.
Yeah, Max. I mean, Mac's still pretty good, but and Bosa's getting up there too. He's around 30.
Yeah.
Drafted in 2016.
Bosa's been around. Yeah.
He's entering. I think this was his 9th year, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Jared Froman. Penguin news: Crosby left the game due to injury, not expected to return. I thought I saw that.
Oh, damn.
That's bad. Malkin's
What's
already
your
on
reaction?
IR too. Well, we're fucked. Might as well sell what we can, which is going to be Marcus Patterson because nobody else is able to be traded. Ooh, the Lem report: only Scooby-Doo can save Darnold now. We need the mystery machine.
Take off the mask. It's fucking Farmer Steve. It's not Sam Darnold.
Wait, it's not Sam Darnold. It's Adam Gase. I would have got away with it too if it weren't for you meddling kids.
They pull off the mask and his eyes are going like 4 different directions and shit, and you're like, oh fuck. It's Adam.
Greg Roman was the real choke artist on the 1820 Ravens. Lamar has gotten significantly better in the play options without Monken now as the OC. He struggled a lot against Kansas City last year. So
that's what. Yeah, we'll preview the division round when we get through all these supers. So
yeah, man. Michael Orm, going back to the Rams, there are a lot of California transplants in Arizona. There must be a lot of Rams fans in Arizona. Well, that too. I mean, It's also a quick drive. Most people probably evacuated due to the fires, especially if you're.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we'll go to Phoenix, we'll hang out, we'll see some hotties in Scottsdale, and then we'll fucking go to the game. We got family there. They sold it out in like couple hours or something like that. So, they were set.
Yeah. I mean, they did it pretty quick for Arizona too. I hadn't done a greatest moments vids for a month, but wildcard recap. Perno with his new worst playoff loss vid. Tom dealing with injuries. Tree with the days of our Steelers broken pizza box, and me enjoying 9 sacks.
Yeah.
Remember the
9
Guangdong
sacks.
Tigers.
Guangdong Tiger. Ni hao.
Speaking of which,
ni hao.
Speaking of ni hao, Russell Wilson. I'm not getting any younger, but I'll always be elite. Just ride with me.
You will.
Well, he wants to remain a Steeler.
We love you, Russ. Yeah. Of course.
Well,
that's
worst
where
case
he's gonna
scenario,
have a job.
He could go for the New York Giants. Or, speaking of which, if the Cowboys do hire Dion Sanders, and I look forward to this because those egos are going to be like Dak Prescott
Don't
to the
say it.
Giants. Dak
Don't
Prescott
say
to
it.
the Giants, and they're going to
Don't
draft
say
Travis Hunter, and they're going to trade up again, and they're going to pick Shedeur Sanders. Dion's
Don't
bringing his
say it.
boys to the NFL. Come on, you want it. Dak
Stop.
Prescott to the Giants. You know
Stop
it, man.
it.
It's going to solve your quarterback issues, Dak Prescott.
it.
Come on.
I need you to stop.
No.
Stop teasing me.
No, you're going to get
You're
Dak
hurting my
Prescott. Or you're
feelings.
going to get Russell Wilson. Ooh, speaking of which, Russell will suck. I'm sorry, I failed you. High knee self to death. How do you even high knee yourself to death? Do you like bang your head against it while you're doing the high knees? And Tree, if you had your head choice of coach to replace Tomlin with the current coaching market, who'd you go with? Ben Johnson. That would be my pick. Alex Schroeder.
Yeah, Ben Johnson is now the soup du jour. You know,
as I said,
everyone's like,
last year,
Ben Johnson.
it would have been Ben Johnson or Mike McDonald. Those would have been my two picks last year. Alex Schroeder, no training staff worse than Steve Saunders and Blair's Gore gave the whole team COVID, rushed everyone back in 2022.
Yeah. They gave him COVID.
Everyone got the Rona. Diganosa 698. Daniel Jones wins Vikings that game, by the way. Trust.
Nah, he can't throw the deep ball, but he would have been much more mobile than Sam Darnold. Like, I'm surprised he didn't get a couple reps in there, you know, just to mix things up. He is a very mobile quarterback. He can run the RPOs. That's about it.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't trip. John Rogers, opinion on the Jair Alexander situation with the injuries, and he's probably cut, right? I mean, Green Bay needs a corner. They're in deep shit there. Their cornerback depth has been tested pretty badly, not to mention they've had a couple injuries, but their biggest issue right now is Jordan Love, especially with how he was like a lot like Brett Favre, and it was the bad Brett Favre he was dealing with. Apparently, there was Brett Coleman mentioned something about like when he's unpressured, he's in terms of his success rate, he's down there with Brett Hundley. Like, it's bad. And you're paying him $55 million a year. So they may have locked themselves into fool's gold.
Yeah. They were moments away from the NFC Championship game last year, and
they upset. They upset the Cowboys.
Yeah, but they were in that game against the Niners. Like they were hanging, dude. They almost had that shit.
Yeah, and now they might be in trouble. Comic Clo 5's Tree of the Steelers in football hell. Well, I mean, you said football purgatory or football limbo, so it's
they're in Dante's like third circle, you know.
Yeah, like the Giants are in like the fifth circle.
We're like, whatever the deepest amount of hell that
that's the ninth circle. No,
Giants
the ninth circle is reserved for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, Peridot for 2. I'm real nervous about my Buckeyes next Monday. I think you'll win. And then you'll end up firing Ryan Day just for the hell of it. It's like, you only won by 10. You're
not
fired.
Elite. You're not elite, Ryan Day. Ryan Day has like the weirdest look. Like it's not cool to make fun of someone's appearance, but he looks like a very weird individual, and he cries almost every time they give him a post gamer. It's. I get it.
He shows that emotion,
but still.
Well, not just that. Like, I mean, the dude was almost fired immediately after that Michigan game.
Oh my god! But now they're in the ship.
They're in the finals, and they're favorites, and they'll probably end up winning. Which is like, okay, so the most hilarious upsets of this past year: Michigan beating Ohio State, Northern Illinois beating Notre Dame in week 1. And now they've been nullified because they both made the fucking finals. Yeah,
dude. No one's going to remember that shit. No one.
Yeah, that's the problem. Notre Dame had to pay Northern Illinois $1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Will Braun, what are your guys' thoughts on the Panthers, the current state? Carolina Panthers, I'm assuming. I think they could be a real fun team to watch next year. They at least showed progress. They looked completely unwatchable first couple of weeks. Now you're seeing Bryce Young at least manage to get his confidence back. I mean, you just had to give him a little factory reset. Send him to the Genius store, give him a little factory reset. He's good to go. I mean, the fact, you have to consider, remember talking about him in mid-September, we're thinking his time in Carolina was done. And I'm like, dude, this guy can't make a read. He's lost. His confidence gone. Like, he has to be traded. But they managed to get him back. So, hey, more power to you.
Yeah. He might
Question
survive.
is, can they get their defense back? Is Derek Brown going to be back at full strength? Is Shaq Thompson going to be back at full strength? That's going to be the question moving forward, especially with the Panthers.
It's a winnable division. They don't really need to go that far to win the division and get into the playoffs. Like playoffs in 2 years is very realistic for Carolina somehow, which is crazy.
Yep.
Crazy.
Exactly. 09 Scherzo. What deal should the Texans offer Tank Dell next year? Assuming he doesn't play, I want to keep him, but injuries and only 1.5 seasons. Well, I think the thing too is, I mean, he does have 1 more year left. So if he doesn't play next year, you could probably do maybe a 2-year deal, like probably with 15 million guaranteed, 10 million a year. So if he doesn't work out,
he's got to stay healthy. Yeah,
that's the problem.
That was
well,
a
the thing is, like, you can't predict because it was. I mean, it was friendly fire. That's the problem. You can't predict that shit.
But who knows what it'll be after he comes back? That was a devastating leg injury. Devastating.
Yeah, and that, I mean, speaking of devastating, Deshaun Watson. I don't know if he plays again. He tore his Achilles again.
It's even funnier the second time.
Of course. I mean, I would feel bad if it were anyone besides Deshaun Watson. Like maybe Big Ben, I would be laughing too. It's like, fuck you, you piece of shit. But Deshaun, it's like, dude, fuck you. If
I didn't even make a video about
Nick
it.
Chubb happened again, I'm like, okay. But yeah, it's a rough situation. TG, as a new viewer, are you guys still going to stream on Dumpster Fire when the NFL season ends? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
we definitely are, dude.
Go all year round, baby.
Yep.
Every week.
It's a lot more intimate after football season.
Yes,
so
we just talk.
Very cozy.
We just shoot the shit. Yes.
Yeah, buddy. Definitely so. And you guys are the highlight of my Tuesday night. We appreciate that, man. Thank you. We've been a disaster of a show. We've been doing this for
the
7 years now,
day.
over 7 years.
7 years.
And we're still fucking up.
Yeah. We still have technical issues. We still fucking can't show up. You know, we can't ever do a smooth show. We're always fucking up, and we're just, yeah, Keeban,
buddy.
That's right. We make out and shit.
Oh, we bant chick. Oh, we do, baby.
Yep. As a Texans fan, you're huffing too much hopium. Yeah.
Where's all the home?
Well, you got a chance. You're going to go play the Chiefs. You can jump out to a 24-0 lead and then blow that shit like your mom after one of the PTA night.
Man, are you speaking from experience, Bob? Christopher Brickner, are you upset, Tree, that Penn can't lose to Ohio State in the championship match? No, fuck Penn State. I didn't want to hear their hype for another goddamn week. And the thing is, I know I was talking about Drew Aller as a potential top 3 pick. Oh, not anymore. Not after this game. Not with the way he played. There goes his first round momentum. Woof. And that was probably your best shot, too, if you're Penn State. I mean, I don't think you're getting back there again.
Yeah.
And Drew Kashal, heard rumors about Jerry hiring Dion as the head coach. I want that to happen so fucking bad. Dude, those egos are going to happen. They're going to clash.
It's going to happen. Yeah. Dion's going to be like, Jerry, I know what I'm doing, okay? Just let me coach.
Yeah, and then Jerry Boy's going to be like, I know football. I'm
going
to do another cameo on Man. Talk about family. Are you part of the family?
Are you part of the family? I'm a decent actor. I'm Jared Jones. He actually did pretty good.
He did do a decent job. I'm like,
yeah, he was just playing himself, but still, that's not easy.
He was just playing himself. He was just like, it was probably like, just talk to these guys about your experience in oil. And it's like, okay, I'll do that.
Okay. And then if you ever got an acting gig, they'd be like, Tree, we told you to play yourself, not play with yourself. And you're just
like, okay. Like, yeah, I'm going to do that anyway.
Steve, we said play yourself, not play with yourself.
I like playing with myself. Trav, what's the most painful team to follow for each of the major sports? Well, Buffalo Sabres for hockey. Got to go with the Charlotte Hornets for the NBA. Maybe the Clippers. I would probably have
or maybe the New Orleans Pelicans. They're pretty bad to watch.
Zion Williamson.
Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns have to be it. And then for baseball, probably the Seattle Mariners.
Pittsburgh Pirates are pretty bad.
The Pirates are pretty bad.
Marlins are bad, but no, the Mariners
Marlins
have
won
worst,
World
though.
Series. I would say Mariners
are the
definitely
worst.
up there. Padres, Brewers, I put them up there as well.
Yeah,
Like there are a
Brewers
bunch of teams
bad.
there.
Angels are
It's
awful.
the Raptors. In between Ohio State, CBJ, and the Cavs. It's a good time for Ohio sports fans. What do I do with my hands? Start jacking off and don't stop.
Jazz hands.
Yes.
The answer is always jazz hands.
Christopher Breckner, first the Browns, then the Ravens. All Tomlin needs to do is lose the Bengals in the wild card to complete the AFC North playoff loss trifecta. And he should have lost to the Bengals. Remember, Vontez Perfect and Pac-Man Jones, if they don't happen, they lose that game. And they would have lost to a team without Andy Dalton or Giovanni Bernard. He should actually be 7-11 in the playoffs, not 8-11. Sean Pinkerton. The standard is the reason I'd rather have a sumo wrestler sit on my face and fart than watch another Tomlin playoff loss.
That sounds kind of
Said
hot.
what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're into that fetish, I guess.
Sean's into some kinky shit. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Christopher Breckner. Tomlin is the first coach to lose 6 straight playoff game losses without having a losing season in the Super Bowl era. And he probably will be the last.
Didn't Marvin Lewis almost come close to doing that? But he lost 5 straight playoff games.
Yeah, he lost 7 in a row. But I think he had losing seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Because 2006, I don't think they did well. Snappy 452. Darnold was seeing the ghosts of all the dead Marlboro smokers. His grandfather convinced chiefing 2 packs a day was cool Monday nights. The Marlboro Man, indeed. Christopher Breckner. Tomlin joins Marty Schottenheimer and Chuck Knox as a coach with over 10 playoff losses without 10 playoff wins. And Tomlin went to 2 Super Bowls and won 1. Don't put Tomlin in comparison with Marty Schottenheimer. Marty Schottenheimer had a lot of shit happen that wasn't his fault.
Shotty never
Tomlin
got to
has
the
been
Super
just
Bowl.
getting blown the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well, Shotty won a championship in the
UFL. Yes, he did.
Yeah. He might have made it. Marlon McCree held on to the fucking ball and didn't try to run for it.
Shotty was a fucking great coach for the Browns, dude. Like I'm surprised if it wasn't for John Elway, he would have gone to the Super Bowl twice.
And Ernest Biner fumbling. Yeah. At the 1 yard line.
Shotty was great in Cleveland.
Ooh. Christopher Breckner, who will be your next legacy of failure? There are a couple choices I want to make here. Clippers, Brewers, New York Jets. All 3 are long due. Canucks too.
Yeah.
Like there are a bunch of them
Canucks
I want to get
bad.
to. I'm long overdue.
Canucks have never won a ship, have they?
No, they have not.
No.
They were close and then they rioted twice.
Yeah.
They were they made a couple game 7s, but unfortunately never did. Classing Gamer. Is that Clippers legacy of failure ready to take off tree? Might be doing some research on it. Might be. I think it's about time. Christopher Breckner. Ryan Day needs the win to solidify his legacy as a coach at Ohio State. A natty win covers up a lot of shortcomings like Meyer and Tressel.
Yeah. It took was it Urban Meyer who won the natty?
Yeah,
in Ohio State.
And then Tressel got fired because of the
tats.
call out from the the tattoos and the Terrell Pryor situation.
Yep.
Drew Kashal, 2005 Seahawks was a really random 10-plus win team. And then they proceeded to blame the refs for losing the Super Bowl when it was really Jeremy Stevens. But what do I know?
Hope Solo's husband.
Christopher Breckner. Ohio State's loss to Michigan and Notre Dame's loss to NIU were mistakes. The losses only made them stronger. Now the monsters lose. Well, Ohio State got way too ahead of themselves. That's what happened. Christopher Breckner. My dad will yell at the TV, but will be happy with the college championship game. His number 1 team is the Buckeyes, and number 2 is Notre Dame. This is his dream championships game. You mentioned that in the Ravens-Steelers stream, too.
Lucky him.
Yep.
No,
another
kidding,
Christopher
dude.
Tomlin. Tomlin really is the new Marvin Lewis. I mean, yeah, he is. I mean, Marvin Lewis, if he had a ring, he's more of the Doc Rivers. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Got a ring, but then everyone hates him.
And then, actually, what happens was he squanders talent and plays like shit in the playoffs. Chokes. Christopher Breckner. Browns fans are now the most frustrated with the team. They have a good coach, good GM, and many Pro Bowl players, but Haslam still ruins it. Simply put, Deshaun Watson. That was a Haslam move. And a Paul DePodesta move, too. Got 2 more, and then we'll get to the previews. Drew Kashal. Canucks also lost in the 82 Stanley Cup to the Islanders. Well, they were a buzzsaw. That was the white flag. that created the rally towel, but like any team that faced the Islanders was going to get the shit kicked out of them.
Mhm.
It was like the Invitational to get slaughtered. HFA Recon, the 2010 Kansas City Chiefs was another random 10-win team. Yep, Matt Castle and Jamal Charles.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. Matty Cass.
And when they tried to skin the Patriots alive, and then they imploded. Yep.
All right.
Reached the end. Let's do our previews.
All right, Texans Chiefs. I like the Chiefs in this one. Just going to make the bold pick right there.
I think the Chiefs are going to. I think the Chiefs defense is going to zone in on a lot of the inefficiencies of Houston's offense. I think it's going to be another bullshit game where they win by like 2. But
I don't think it'll be that close. I think it'll be like a boring 24-10 win, and it'll be decided pretty early. Commanders, Lions. I like the Lions to win, but the Commanders will make it a game. Like, I don't know if it's going to be high scoring or low scoring, but I just know the Commanders are going to be scrappy. They've had a long, like, finally their luck is going to run. They might even be ahead at one point, and then they just, eventually it ends.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. I think it's going to be, like those Lions-Seahawks games, because the Lions don't really have a defense. The Commies have had injuries on that front. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be relatively tough for both teams. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yep. Next one, sir, we're looking at Bills,
Rams,
Ravens.
Eagles. Oh, Bills,
Rams,
Ravens.
Eagles.
No, Rams, Eagles first. Let's go
do
chronologically.
Yep.
The Rams are going to also be scrappy and tough. They're playing their best football of the year, but the Eagles are just too talented. The Eagles are very good. So I will give this one to the Eagles.
I think the Eagles are going to do everything in their power to piss the game away, but I believe they'll pull it out by talent at the last possible moment.
Okay. High-end talent.
Yep.
High-end talent.
Thank you, Saquon Barkley.
And this will probably be the best game of the weekend, Ravens-Bills, because I think both teams are going to score a lot.
Oh, they're both are going to be desperate too. Like, these are big years for both of them.
Yeah. I like the Bills to win. The Bills just cannot go, they can't go out in this round. They've got to get back to the AFC Championship game,
I think the Ravens are going to win it. I think the Ravens.
Oh, God, fuck you, Baltimore.
As I said, they have too many flaws. They have a lot of red flags that have never been addressed, and Seattle just scored again.
Great. Oh my gosh, this is what I have to say about this.
Fuck you, Baltimore.
I agree with that, buddy.
I mean, if
the season can't end like that.
That's what Buffalo's going.
Baltimore has if Lamar gets to a Super Bowl, like he's cementing his way to a Hall of Fame career.
I mean, he's already in the Hall of Fame. He's already set the rushing record for a quarterback.
It's true, but like
MVPs.
That would cement it. That would make him a first balloter, So, give me the Bills. Give me the Bills, baby. Come on. I'm rooting with my heart. With my heart.
I think the Ravens end up winning and breaking Buffalo's hearts again.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I think so, man. But otherwise, you have anything to say before we go, sir?
Steelers gone to Super Bowl. They just have to.
We got by the ticket. We go 9
great
and 8
weekend.
Super Bowl. 9
getting
and
closer.
8 Super Bowl, baby.
Yep. We're getting closer to the end, and this is what the Steelers did.
I slam my penis in the car door. You slam your penis in the car door.
They did that when they started playing the Eagles. Like, they've been doing that nonstop, my man.
Yeah.
But and Seattle just scored again. Great.
Oh wow.
They blew a lead in 5 minutes. Thank you, Tristan Jarry. You fucking suck. Crosby's back on the ice too. So,
Crosby came back from the dead.
Yep. But the Penguins, they suck ass. So that's great. Mm-hmm. That's great.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys on Thursday for clickbait.
Yep. It's going to be a salty one. Except Brandon. He'll be happy.
Salty. Brandon, why would Brandon be happy? Fuck him.
Well, because he's just happy to be in the playoffs. He's
Bo
just
Nix,
like, well, we
they
actually
made
made
one
it.
playoff game, but playing with
No,
house
well, Bo
money
Nix
is a
sucks.
fucking.
Bo
it's
Nix
a
ain't
lie,
good.
dude.
I mean, they're going to say Bo Nix is the reason. No, it was their defense and the schedule. That's why.
All right, brother.
But yes, sir.
Love y'all.
I will never, ever, ever